The Gunter Tigers have already made school history this year with 13 wins. Now they try to advance to the state semifinals for the first time in school history. The Collinsville Pirates have looked strong late in the season, storming into the playoffs, going 5-1 in district. It's become reality show drama. Will Tony Romo play in the Cowboys season finale, or won't he? Well, it appears we finally have our answer. Maybe. Some may say they've lost their luster a little bit in this rivalry. Who would think that? In a game this big, of this magnitude in Texas, but it's been a while since both of these teams have made the playoffs. 2013 for Denison, 2012 for Sherman. But this year, there's a playoff spot on the line. Denison did employ the Wildcat quite a bit tonight, and it worked a lot. They had almost 400 yards on the ground tonight. Edgewood's last 3 playoff losses all came to Texoma area teams. Suffer 1 loss, and now we have a quarterback controversy on our hands, at least from the fans' perspective, not so much from the Dallas Cowboys locker room. Last week, they got their first playoff win since 2004. Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. All you can say is bedlam. And this year, there's a conference title on the line and an outside shot at making the college football playoff. One thing Coach Vizell and his bunch won't have to deal with is the weather, as it will be in AT&T Stadium. County well represented at the Texas 5A State Swimming Championships as 3 swimmers make it to the finals, and all 3 had the same goal in mind: have a medal placed around their neck. Tyrone Swoops has certainly had his ups and downs in a Longhorn uniform, but here at the Cotton Bowl, not only did he find a role on this football team, but he was a hero in the Horns' biggest game of the season. Last week, the Atoka Wampus Cats said goodbye to Phillips Field, their home for 75 years. Tonight, they take the field at their new home, at least for the rest of this season. There's no doubt being a college athlete is a full-time job, keeping up with grades, practices, traveling, and games. For the East Central volleyball team, that busy schedule didn't stop their big hearts, as the Lady Tigers volunteer their time to help out a volleyball team with challenges of their own.
Talking is such a huge thing in volleyball, and the fact that they don't have that is just so amazing to me, and the fact that they still can do so well.
The Lady Tigers are helping out the Oklahoma School for the Deaf, who had one major problem. The referees retired before the season, leaving them with no officials.
My principal, Chris, said contact East Central. Maybe they have, you know, a PE department or some students that would come and ref.
That call ended up yielding much more than referees. Monday, the East Central volleyball team made a special trip to the Oklahoma School for the Deaf's campus gym, hosting an open clinic, with each ECU player working one-on-one with a deaf player.
I was able to get comfortable with my partner, and I was with her all the time, and once we got comfortable, I felt better.
Learned how to pass better, learned how to set better, and learned how to hit better and serve better as well.
For junior middle blocker Madeline Mayer, this small practice meant much more. Madeline is a Services for the Deaf major.
My 2 favorite things is volleyball and sign language, and I just love being able to connect with the girls on a way I never thought I would be able to do before.
Initially, the East Central players were nervous.
We thought they wouldn't be able to understand us and we wouldn't be able to communicate with them, but honestly it has been really easy. I really like it, and it's really made me feel more comfortable just being around them.
I hope that this will help them interact with other deaf people as well, and not be afraid to teach younger kids. Deaf and hearing are the same. People are the same. There may be a communication barrier, but there is a way to get around it.
The deaf players look up to the Lady Tiger team as if they were celebrities. But at the end of practice, it was the deaf players reaching celebrity status as each ECU player asked for their autographs.
Thank you. It made me feel like I'm famous because I never really gave autographs.
What began with a simple phone call turned into a special bond and a rally of support on both squads. Reporting in Sulphur, Matthew Boyd, Sports 12. Earlier this year, Denison freshman Lindsay Looney won gold at the UIL Texas State Swim Meet, the first swimming medal in Denison history. Now she's moving on to a bigger stage. At 14 years old, Denison freshman Lindsay Looney will be one of the youngest to hit the water this weekend as she competes at the U.S. Olympic swimming trials in Omaha, Nebraska.
I've been to nationals and I've been to Grand Prix type of meets, but I've never been to this type of meet. But it will be different, and it will be a great experience for me.
Lindsay qualified for the trials last year in the 200 butterfly and the 400-meter individual medley when she was just 13. This Sunday, she will be swimming against some of the best swimmers in the world, even former Olympians.
Once you get up on the blocks, you have to tell yourself it's just a regular old meet. And swimming against these people, you got to say they're just regular people. They're doing the exact same thing I'm trying to do, and that's trying to make a team.
It's amazing to see that age at this meet, considering this is the top 0.5% of the sport is at this meet.
There's 103 swimmers competing in the 200 fly, all trying to finish in the top 2 and earn a trip to the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And Lindsay is the youngest of them all. But that's no surprise to her coach, Brent Mitchell, who's been amazed at her abilities in the pool since he began coaching her 3 years ago.
She's done things that I've never seen and been able to race at a level that you know that when she gets on a block that she's going to win.
The Olympic roster isn't the only spot up for grabs next week. The top 2 18 and under swimmers will make the junior national team, and the top 6 will be selected for the Pan Pacific team.
Just making that team will really show myself, tell myself that I can do it.
Lindsay's first heat will be this Sunday.
The Des Caught It rematch, or the rookie versus the veteran quarterback. Any way you shake it, Dallas and Green Bay were primed for a great playoff game, and boy, did they ever deliver. Packers in Arlington taking on the top overall seed Dallas Cowboys. Packers come out on fire. Ty Montgomery gets in from a yard out. Green Bay scored on his first 3 possessions to jump out to the 21-3 lead. Cowboys finally show some life. Midway through the second, Dak Prescott going deep to his number 1, Dez Bryant. And that's worth the X being thrown up. Now over to the third. After a Dallas turnover, Green Bay in prime position. Aaron Rodgers throws to Devontae Adams, but Jeff Heath is there to make the diving interception. He gets up and makes the nice return, and that would set up this on the next drive. Dak Prescott with the play action hits Jason Witten. Surprisingly, that's Witten's first career touchdown in the playoffs. It puts Dallas within 8. Cowboys' next possession, Dez scores on the quick slant, and Dallas now within 2, so they're going to go for 2. It's the quarterback draw. Dak no problems getting in, and we have ourselves a tie game with 4 minutes to play. Green Bay would get a field goal to take the lead. Dallas would drive right down the field, and Dan Bailey drills it from 52 yards out to tie the game again. That leaves 35 seconds on the clock, and Aaron Rodgers says that's plenty of time. 3rd and 20. Rodgers rolls to his left, slings it downfield. Jared Cook makes the grab on the sideline, and replay shows he barely stays in bounds, and that would set up this. Mason Crosby from 51 yards out as time expires. It squeaks through the uprights. Cowboys lose a heartbreaker, 34-31. Their season comes to an end while Green Bay moves on to take on Atlanta.
We didn't coach a perfect game. We didn't play a perfect game. There's a lot of things we're going to look at and want to do differently. But who we are was on display. The fight that we have to live up what we want to do, live up to the standards, and most importantly, fighting for each other. That was on display in our stadium today against the Packers.
It was a great atmosphere. I mean, AT&T was amazing today. The fans and just, it was a great game all the way around. Just hates to be on the losing end, obviously, but it's just games that I dreamed of a little kid of playing in and plan to play in many more of them.
Other playoff action, the Steelers and Chiefs in Kansas City, and the Steelers just wrapped this one up just a few minutes ago. They won 18-16. They advanced to the AFC Championship game against the Patriots. Texas Sports Writers Association releases its all-state volleyball teams, and it was littered with Texoma talent, highlighted by Class A's state champ Tioga. Lady Bulldog head coach Mindy Patton named Coach of the Year. Her outside hitter Andrea Perez named Player of the Year, as well as first-team All-State. setter Brittany Barnett and libero Peyton Glaze were also first team. Destiny Maness was second team All-State. Now over in 3A, the Callisburg Lady Cats were well represented. Outside hitters Skylar Allen and Macy Satterwhite were named to the first team, while Savannah Hott was tabbed third team All-State. Staying in 3A, Lindsey Bullard of Callisburg, Leonard's Alyssa Davis, and Whitesboro's Lauren Portum all named honorable mention All-State. Now down in 2A, Lindsay Lady Knights had a trio receive honors. Jocelyn Gruing named to the second team, while Carson Dykes and Mackenzie Fleetman were honorable mention. And over in 4A, North Lamar's Bailey Foy tabbed second team middle blocker, while Melissa's Susan Blake is honorable mention. Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs hosting the Timberwolves. Second quarter, Dirk gets it way behind the three-point line, and that's okay because it's good from there. Later, it's Wesley Matthews driving the baseline, and he's going to throw it down. The Mavs win 2 in a row for only the third time this season, topping Minnesota 98-87. Over at Austin College, the Roos hosting Colorado College. Early going, Jeremy Swisher finds Austin Wells behind the arc, nothing but net. AC up 5. Later, Roos with the nice ball movement. Austin Fleet lobs it up to JP Feeder. He gets the basket and the foul. Roos fall, though, 66-64. Austin College ladies also taking on Colorado College. Check out the nice bounce pass by Bryce Frank. Kendall Heitmeyer finishes with the basket. Lady Roos up big later in the third. Kendra Rainey makes the nifty move down low, puts it in off the glass, and Austin College wins their third straight, 82-51. And tough loss for the Cowboys. That season comes to an end in a bad way to lose.
But still a great season.
It was a great season, but you wanted that to keep going.
They have next year. Thanks, Matt. Tom, we can hear the rain coming down right now.
Yes, we can.
It's really
What you